All right, for number 1, you should have had 2 being added to 3m plus 2 equals 18. 3m plus 2 equals 18. Number 2, 2a squared, 2a plus a cubed equals b. 3, p plus t minus 7 equals 6. 4, x plus x squared equals yz. 5, this is where the parentheses matter. You have to have the parentheses correct in 5. If you were missing the parentheses in 3, that was okay. In 5, you must have a 4 parentheses f plus g, close parentheses equals 6g. Remember, if you missed these or got anything incorrect, you should be using this time to correct your homework. That's why we are going over it. And then for the last one, this is the understand, plan, solve. So on your paper, I even gave you all 4 parts. So what are you trying to understand? You are trying to understand how many days it takes for those flights to occur. How many days it takes for the flights to occur. Your planning should have said that 87,000 times D equals 261,000. When you solved, you got D equals 3. And to check it, you plugged it back in. 87,000 times 3 equals 261,000. Questions on that? How did we do? Anything you need to see on 1 through 6? Alrighty. So then I gave you a new set of notes for today. We're on 2-1, day 2. So as part of the 5-minute check, take a second, and I know this is multiple choice, but I want you to fill in the understand, plan, solve, and check. So fill in the understand, plan, solve, and check. Yep. I didn't put one under your new note guide. Okay. Okay, so again, take a minute, try to figure out what is the understand. What is this asking me? What am I looking for? What's the understand? What am I looking for? Anybody know? What am I looking for in this problem? Am I looking for days, weeks, minutes, hours, words? What's my final answer going to be in terms of? Nobody knows. What's my final answer going to be?
24 minutes.
What did you say?
24 minutes.
Minutes. Good. So the understand. What am I solving for? I'm solving for minutes. You're solving for minutes. You're solving for minutes. Okay, the plan. What is my equation? What is your equation? Your equation is 148. We're looking for minutes, so we'll say M equals 3,552. That is my equations. To solve it, you divide by 148. And then you get M equals. So to solve it, you divide by 148. And you get M equals 24. Is everybody okay with that? So previously we were simplifying those expressions, and today we're taking sentences and making equations. So yesterday we took equations and made sentences. Today we're doing the opposite. We're taking the equations and making or writing sentences. We're doing the opposite of yesterday. So for letter A, the perimeter of a square equals 4 times the length of a side. The perimeter of a square equals 4 times the length of a side. We will say that perimeter is P and length is S. So there's the words. Our variables. So let's define the variables. We're going to say P is perimeter and S equals length. So you should be writing that down under the define the variables. Should be writing that down under the define the variables. So that transforms perimeter to the letter P equals to an equal sign, the number 4 from the word for, or P equals 4S. So what is the formula? It is P equals 4S. So again, yesterday was very similar to this. We took some words and made expressions. Today, we're going to make equations. Okay, the area of a circle equals the product of pi and the square of the radius r. So we would say, for defining our variables, that A is equal to the area and R is the radius, because it's important to know what each letter represents. Capital A is area, R is radius. When you see the word equals, you're thinking an equal sign. If you see the word product, that means to multiply. So you think of the little dot. So area of a circle, this all becomes letter A, equals the product of pi and the square. So what's it mean to square something? What are we doing to something if it's squared? Is it to the first power, the third power, the 100th power? The second power, exactly.
Yes, 7.
It is B, yes. So from all of that, we get that area equals pi r squared. Oopsies. All right, so now it's time for you to do the writing. We're given the equation. Now we need to write it. So what's a word that I could use to represent that middle piece right there? What's a word I could use? The basic one? Go ahead, Nick. Minus. Yeah, you're minusing. We could also say that 2x is less than 12. You could say 12 subtracted by 2x. The difference of 12 and 2x. What word represents the equals? What word in math can we use for equals except besides the word equals? What word in math can I use for equals besides the word equals? Nick? Is. Exactly. Awesome. All right, so let's write it out. So we had the minus. I used equals, but you could use is. If we talk about two things being multiplied, we could use 12. When you are asked to write it as a verbal sentence, you have to spell out the numbers. If you're asked to write it as a verbal sentence, you have to spell out the numbers. So you would write 12 minus TWO for 2 times x equals or is -5. Okay, so Luke, what could I say in terms of words for the first piece right here? What does this represent? What is that? What, honey? That's okay. All right, Abby. For that, just the first part. Just the first part. I just wanted the A. Okay, so Abby, oops. Abby said A squared. Give me a word for this symbol right here, Nevaeh. What's the word for the symbol right here I'm circling? Yeah, you could say addition. So that's addition. All right. Nick, how could I say in terms of words this part right here? Okay, that's exactly what it looks like. Give me a math term to tell me what 3B means. Like what's happening with 3 and B? What are we doing to those two pieces? Multiplying them. So we could say the product of 3 and B. You could say 3 times B. You could say 3 multiplied by B. Logan, what's this symbol right here? being circled by the pen.
Equal sign.
Perfect. All right, Luke. Redemption. What is this? Tell me what's happening with these two pieces. Perfect. C divided by 6. So we could write that out as a squared plus 3 times b equals c divided by 6. Exactly as you'd say it is what you're writing down. Everybody good copying that down? Okay, read through those options and tell me if you think A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D. Quick. All right, so Nick, what do you think? Nevaeh, agree or disagree? That's okay, you're allowed. What do you think? Okay, so we got a C, we have a D. Luke, what do you think? All right. What do you think, Miss Abby? Did you circle A, B, C, or D? What? All right. And Logan, did you circle A, B, C, or D? Awesome. The correct answer is D. So Nick, where you flip-flopped it is you said 4 minus instead of 12 divided by b minus. Whatever you say in front of the word minus has to come first. Okay? So, the last part of this unit is being creative. The last part of this unit is being creative. I want you to write me a word problem involving this information. So we know that fries are represented by letter F. The cost of a burger is the cost of fries plus $1.50 more. And tell me what 4 times F plus 1.5 minus F equals 8.25 could be. So we're going to be creative. And the first one we're going to go through together. But you are going to try to write a problem creatively that represents this information. So I would probably start with the cost of a burger is $1.50 more than the cost of fries. I would take this top line and I would make a relationship between them. The cost of a burger is $1.50 more than the cost of fries. So go ahead, write that down. Bless you. the cost of a burger is $1.15 more than the cost of fries? The 4 here is being multiplied by burgers because S plus $1.50 is burgers. So 4 times the cost of a burger minus the cost of fries is $8.25. 4 times the cost of a burger minus the cost of fries is $8.25. To make it a problem, it has to ask a question. To make it a problem, it has to ask a question. So I want to know, how much do fries cost? Because if I know how much the fries cost, then I know how much a burger costs. Oh, she's just leaving now to go get coffee? Just tell her to wait. It never got warm. And I didn't have time. Alright, let's do multiple choice. See if you can match the given information to a word problem. H is her height in inches. H minus 3 is Consuela's height in inches. 3H times the quantity H minus 3 is 8,262. So the good news is they all end in a question, so they're all a valid word problem. They all end in the same question. So really what you're looking for is the connection between the two. So your first thought should always be the connection between this variable you're given and an equation. So we're looking for something with Consuela's height in minus 3. Is Consuela going to be taller or shorter if her height's minus 3 Tiana's? Good? Yeah. So you can automatically get rid of which option, A, B, C, or D. Nevaeh? Perfect. We can auto get rid of B because it said she's taller. The next part is the product. Uh-oh, what's letter C have different? Instead of the product, letter C has sum. Do we see a plus sign anywhere in any of these? No. Goodbye, option C. So how many of us think letter A? Raise your hand. How many of you think letter D? Raise your hand. How many of you didn't raise your hand? At least they did. It is A. Great job for those of you that picked A. Great job. What's the difference between A and D? What is the difference? Anybody know? Yep.
The names are in the opposite orders of each other.
Yep.
Different way of putting it, but he's right.
Alright guys, your homework is the next page in that guided notes packet. You need to bring that back with you on Tuesday rather, as well as another worksheet we're going to give you in a second here. Because that will be